Welcome to the next chapter of this physical chemistry, which is electrochemistry or the solution of electrolytes. So, in thermodynamics, we have studied the various terms related to the ideal solutions and the ideal gas equations. Now, we will try to move this knowledge of thermodynamics, some knowledge of thermodynamics, into the electrochemistry part also. And in the electrochemistry part, we will be mainly focusing upon the how that conduction of electricity will takes place in the molecule. So in basic electrochemistry already known to us during the 11th 12th as well as FYBSc standards, so we have already seen some sort of introductory part of this electrochemistry. Now again we will try to revise that and try to explore the more knowledge of this electrochemistry and try to use that previous knowledge in order to study the depth of this electrochemistry. Okay, now this electrochemistry is basically consisting of various terms like electrolyte. What do you mean by electrolytic solution? Then what do you mean by conductor? Then various cells are there like concentration cell or galvanic cell, voltaic cell. So various terms are there which are like a little bit confusing. Okay, so if we like try to study that one by one, then it will become like less confusing. So instead of studying it within the table, means at a time we are studying the various terms, so it will become more confusing. So instead of that, we will first try to see that things one by one, and once we have reached to the level where we can make the our own conclusion or the one specific observation about that particular term, so we will try to remember that only. Okay, final term. So let us start with this electrochemistry part. So basically the substances which we will observe are either they are like conducting the electricity or the non-conducting the electricity. So based upon that, we will classify them as what? The conductors and insulator. Okay, there are the some other materials like semiconductors, but we will mainly focusing here upon the conductors and the non-conductor or the insulator. So substances which will simply allow the electric current to flow through them are called as conductors, and the substance which does not allow to flow the current through them are called as non-conductors or insulator. So electrical conductors are of two types. One is what the electronic conductors and another one is the electrolytic conductors. Okay, so here first terms are the electronic conductors and the electrolytic conductors. So what do you mean by electronic conductors? So simply we can say that the electronic conductors are like metal wire. Okay, so that we can say that that material which is simply a metal wire, they will conduct the electricity, and there will not be any change of the chemicals. Okay, or the way will not be any change in the atoms or the constituent molecules in the metal wire. Okay, so we have observed this because if you consider the wires that are usually used in the electrical appliances like fan, TV as such, so there is no change in the composition of that wire. Okay, even if we have used that for the years also, so there will not be any change in the composition of that particular wire. So that how that electricity is then flowed from this small that metal. So in order to flow the electricity through this metal, the electrons are transferred. So in such substances, the metal is supposed to suppose that the electricity is exclusively carried out by the electrons. So if the electricity is carried out by the electrons, we will say that is electronic conductor. Okay, electronic conductor. So such a conductors are called as electronic conductors. Now the electronic conductor conduction is not accompanied by any chemical change in the given substance. But for the electrolytic conductors, the passage of electricity is accompanied by the chemical change in the given substances. Like if we consider the battery, that is lead acid battery or normal pencil cell, these are the electrolytic conductors. Okay, or electrolytic substances. So it is supposed that the electrolytic conduction, the electricity is carried out by the ions. So electrolytic conductors are of two types again, in which the one is of the molten or fused state of the given substance, and another one is the solution state. Okay, So there are again two types of electrolytic conductors. One is the molten state electrolytic conductors, and another one is the solution state electrolytic conductors. So the second type, that is the what, solution type of electrolytic conductors, are also called as simply the electrolytic solution or the ionic solution. So we mainly in the chemical practicals we mainly focusing upon the ionic solutions or the this electrolytic solution. So here we have seen what, first there are conductors and insulator. Further these conductors are classified as what, electronic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Then electrolytic conductors are further classified as molten solutions. Okay, so in molten we have the liquefied ions, and the solution we have dissolved that ions in the certain solvent. So that is the various differences in the given terms. So now when the ionic compound which are fused or dissolved in a suitable solvent, the electrostatic forces of attraction which will holding the ions together, which becomes weak, and the ions will become mobile. Okay, so we all know that there are the two terms, important two terms. Okay, so here we see this. One is the ionization, and another one is the dissociation. So what do you mean by these two terms, that is ionization and dissociation? So for ionization means, suppose we are having simple NaCl salt, NaCl salt. Okay, so we all know that this NaCl salt is what, ionic compound. So NaCl is ionic compound with positive charge on the Na plus Na and negative charge on the chloride. Okay, or chlorine ion. So this is what, this is simply we can say that the compound is what, ionized one. Means what, in the compound inherently there is certain charge separation is present. So in the molecule, if there is a charge separation, we can say that the molecule is ionized one. And if we dissolve this NaCl in the suitable solvent, like consider water, we can have the separate Na plus plus Cl minus. So these two ions are separated. Okay, here these two ions are quite intact with each other. So if we have considered Na plus, along with that Cl minus has to be present in the adjacent to its vicinity. But in the solution state, this Na plus and Cl minus may be separated or present in the very far distance from each other. So this is called as a dissociation. Second phenomenon is called as a dissociation. First phenomenon is called as a ionization. So this is the difference in the dissociation of the molecule and the ionization of the molecule. Okay, so if we use the certain solvent, then the molecules in which already there is ionization, the dissociation will takes place. Like when the ionic compounds are fused together or dissolved in the suitable solvent, the electrostatic forces holding the ions together becomes weak, and the ions become mobile. So these mobile ions which can act as a carrier of electricity. Now it must have be noted that the process of fusion or the solution which does not cause any ionic compound to the get ionized, but the ionic compound which consisting of the ions even at the solid state. So the process of fusion or the solution which will only weaken this process of holding the ions together. So thus the cause of ions to separate. Thus the separation of constituent ions of an ionic compound when they are fused or dissolved in the given solvent is generally called as electrolytic dissociation or simply a dissociation. So the covalent compounds such as hydrogen chloride or HCl, that is, then ammonia, etc., when dissolved in the water molecule giving rise to the conduction. Why is it so? Because it will again react with the water molecule so as to give the various ions like H3O plus, H plus, Cl minus ion, and ammonia will give you NH4 plus ion and OH minus ion. So an electrolytic solution is always electrically neutral, and hence the sum of charges on the positive and negative ions will be zero. So these are the certain observations that we can make from the basic knowledge of electrochemistry. Okay. Now there are the certain formulas that we will repeatedly use in the various derivations, or various terms are used for the conductivity in the solutions. Like what do you mean by first conductance, what do you mean by specific conductance, what do you mean by molar conductance, then what do you mean by the conductivity of the solution, resistivity of the solution, cell constant of the solution. So likewise various terms are involved in the this electrochemistry part. So we will try to see that one by one. Okay, so for the conductors, we know the famous term, that is Ohm's law, which is applicable to what, to in order to find out the relationship between conduction or the potential and current. Okay, so conducting solution which obeys the Ohm's law, and according to this Ohm's law we know that this current is directly proportional to what, this electromotive force is applied to the conductor of resistance R. Then the current with which it is flows through the conductor is given by the formula, that is I is equals to E upon R, where E is what, the potential or the electromotive force, R is the resistance, and I is the current which is flowing through the system. So it is followed from the equation 2.1 that when the constant EMF is being applied to the conductor, then the current flowing through the given conductor is inversely proportional to the resistance of solution. Okay, and if we take the inverse of this resistance, we can get the conductivity of the solution. Means, like we have previously seen for the formation constant and dissociation constant, so that equilibrium constant is also called as a formation constant. So formation constant and dissociation constant are inversely related. One is what, one is the constant of formation for the given compound, and another one is the constant of dissociation of that particular compound. So likewise similar term can be used here, like resistance is what, opposition to the flow of current. So inverse of this means, if we take the opposite of resistance, that is the conductivity of solution, that is the conductance of a solution. So if we have considered the conductance of solution, we have to consider the inverse of resistivity. Now there are the other terms like specific conductivity or the molar conductivity and cell constant. We can see that terms in the next lecture. Okay.